talk a little bit about the emotions?
I don't know if it's hit me yet that this is going to be the last game I play here in Stroh. I can't say that it hasn't hit me yet. I can't comment on that. It hasn't hit me. It might take a day, a night.
When you start looking back at this, what kinds of things are you going to look at in this?
This game in particular, or this season?
Yes.
Both.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, in your career too.
All right, I'll start with this game. When I think of this game, I'm probably going to think, I don't know if I've ever played in the crowd, in front of a crowd, like there was today. It was booming in here, so loud. It fueled my energy. I don't know about everyone else, but it fueled my energy, and that was exciting. I mean, you don't know if you're ever going to be able to play in a crowd like this, and with people who genuinely love you and care about you and want to help you. This season in my career, it has been a really good run. A really good 4 years since I've been here, 3 years playing. I've learned so many things, grew a lot, made so many friendships and pathways through BG. You go to college and you think, I'm going to go, I'm going to play, I'm going to come out, and maybe I'll talk to people, maybe I won't. But I can definitely say that this is a place I'll come back and visit, and people in the stands from our great crowd today are looking into helping me in my future. So it's great. I don't know if I could have picked a better school the second time around.
You talk about what the last few weeks have been like, the disappointment of not getting into the tournament, and then this unbelievable run, winning 30 games. What have the last few weeks really been like for you guys?
Last few weeks have been exciting. I mean, we were really disappointed about not getting to the NCAA. I think that was a lot of people's dreams. But, how many people can say at BG, besides, I think, one more other team, that they've won 30 games this season? And I believe, according to Mike's tweet, we've played, this is the longest the women's basketball team has played in the history. So, we're still going to go down the record books, and that's exciting. And playing these big name schools, that's been fun. I mean, who expects us to mid-major compete with teams with as big a name as they do? And it says a lot to our program that they're traveling to us. We're not going to them. So the last couple of weeks has been really exciting.
How about tonight? It seemed like Rutgers really played physical defense and made it really difficult for you guys to get any offense going. Is that what you saw?
They did make it difficult for our offense. They kind of iced our screens so that we couldn't use our screens. So the ball handler was going into a lot of traffic when they were dribbling, and that, with the type of offense that we run, it did make it really complicated.
What did they do different offensively in the second half? I mean, is it simple enough to say they made shots, or was there more to it than that?
I think they did make shots. They made big shots down the stretch, that's for sure. And I think they did a little bit better job at going north and south, getting into the paint, as compared to kind of dribbling around the perimeter. I will give us credit to say that we boxed out a lot better in the second half, but it didn't really matter because other shots were going in. So.
In the first half, can you talk a little bit about the rebounding trouble? I mean, it was, you needed kind of a late rush just to make it competitive.
Roos, our coaches actually, not just Roos, we talked a lot about rebounding this week in preparation for this game, but I still think it took the first couple of minutes to come out to realize, all right, she was serious, you're right, you might just have to face your person and give them an arm bar and not go for the rebound at all. I know for myself, it took me the first 2 possessions of the game to realize I wasn't going to go for many rebounds. So it is something we practice, but I don't think we realized the extent of their rebounding until we got into the game.
And was that their rebounding of their length, their size, both?
I think it was a little bit of both, and I also think it goes with their game plan to out-rebound people, so it's something that they really go for head first, headstrong.
Just kind of throw it at the basket and then go get it?
Yeah.
Did you think when Jillian hit that three that this was going to be the time, that was going to be it, you guys were going to come back?
I have no idea what I was thinking when she hit that three. I was just, how on earth does that go in? She didn't even shoot it with 2 hands. She one hand slung it up there and it hit the backboard and went in, but Good for her. She practices that shot, so maybe it was supposed to go in.
How much did she practice that shot?
Every day before we start practice.
Seriously?
With their height protecting the rim, did you guys want to start taking more outside shots, or do you want to penetrate and try to at least get them into foul trouble? Because they were getting in foul trouble.
We wanted to try to penetrate and get them into foul trouble. We knew that they did have a lot of shot blockers on our team, and height and lengthwise, they had to keep a few inches on us both ways, but we did want to drive, penetrate, and try to draw the foul.
Well, it's tough to figure out where to begin. It was a great ride playing in the WNIT. It was a fantastic season, led by our seniors. Had our chances tonight. We really had our chances, and it's funny when you think back to how kids finish their careers, or you think back to the end of everybody's last game, whether in high school, whether in college. There's always tears involved. Maybe that's just being in women's athletics, but you see it in men's athletics as well. And we're in a lot of tears tonight. We had a lot of mad kids because we had our chances to win. And that's a kind of a bitter pill to swallow. We got 5-minute stretch where we didn't score. It was 12-minute mark in the second half to the 7-minute mark. Now that was tough. We're stuck on 29 a long time. But with that said, our kids were able to grind and get consecutive stops. I told them we don't have 9-point play, we don't have an 8-point play. Let's see if we can get consecutive stops and start hitting some threes. And I thought the house was going to come down when Jillian Hatfield hit that 1-3 to cut it to a single possession game. And again, had our chances at the end. Proud of our fight that we had in this group. But selfishly, we wanted one more. And as you saw, as I said earlier, there's not a lot of tears with this group because they knew they had their chances to get one more. And I made a couple mistakes as well. I wish I had a couple of play calls back, especially the last two right before half. I was going for a quick hit to get us a 3. But with that said, you got to give Rutgers credit. They really put some pressure on us in the half court. Granted, I thought we did a good job of taking care of it. You know, we only turned the ball over 13 times, but that's a Rutgers team that we wanted to make them shoot jump shots, and they did. And to their credit, as I said, they had to make big shots at the end of the shot clock, and they have yet to shoot 60% in any half of a recent box that I've seen. So they stepped up and made shots when they needed to. But with that said, again, we still had our chances.
Were they doing something different in that run in the second half where they were making baskets, or just shooting the ball and it's going
They
in?
made outside jumpers. We were playing back line defense. We wanted them to take outside shots because I think they've got the ability to drive and create off the bounce and get to the hoop. As you can tell, I mean, they were 0 of 2 at the arc. They averaged less than a 3 a game. So I felt like we could win the 3-point battle tonight. I wanted to win the foul line battle tonight. We won both of those, but it ended up being a 2-possession game. Yet, with that said, we still had a good look to tie it and make it potentially force overtime. So proud that it came down to the wire because this crowd deserved a good game, and I think they got their money's worth tonight.
When you were stuck on 29, was there a particular problem offensively for you guys?
We got shots, but I think a little bit of the momentum swung their way because they were making shots. So anytime you make a shot, you're going to play a little bit better on defense. If you miss a shot at one end, at the other end, you're reliving that shot in your head.
Will you talk a little bit about the rebounding? Obviously, you were able to close the gap considerably in the second half, but especially early on, I mean, you guys were really struggling.
It's a little bit of a misnomer because we gave up some offensive rebounds early on, which we knew we would because 40 to 45% of their offensive firepower comes off of offensive rebound putback. So shoot it, miss it, go get it, put it in.
Right.
Yet offensive rebounds that we were giving up, they weren't scoring. So I can live with that. I mean, I was ecstatic that we were playing hard and they weren't scoring after multiple offensive rebounds.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, and I told our kids not to get frustrated by that. And I thought they did a good job of not to get frustrated. I mean, we kept playing hard and didn't drop our head at all. I didn't think we would.
Was there a concern that you guys struggled so much on the offensive boards in the first half?
No, because we wanted to get back and take away some transition points. They had 4 at the half. In addition to offensive rebound putbacks as part of their offense, they love to score in transition. You know, we go 1 to 2 to 5. So, you know, the point guard's going to pass it to the wing and she's going to pass to a cutting post. I mean, they simply go 1 to 2 and throw it up the length of the floor, and then they've got good speed, and we were able to take that away, I felt like. Yet we did not get an offensive rebounds because we were trying to take away their transition points. And with that said, I mean, it helped us get an 8-point lead and take the lead into halftime, lead to that first media timeout, and we just didn't make enough shots, got stuck at that 12-minute mark, like I said.
Can you walk us through the last few weeks from the disappointment of not getting in to winning 30 games, playing in these atmospheres, and then having to come to the end? What have the last few weeks been like for you guys?
Tired, really tired. I've said to our staff, I don't know how guys in the NBA do it. I don't know how you do it as a Major League Baseball player, but I will say this. Our team really came together after just beating number 65. You know, we were, and we owned it. Came out, didn't play real well against High Point in that first 10 minutes because they came out, shot out of a cannon, and we played 1 game in 12 days. Lost a little bit of our flow, but we've had some really, really good practices. I've been really pleased with the energy, been really pleased with different kids who have led us in scoring. We had some guards step up in our second game after post. We couldn't finish real well inside. We had guards step up. Next game we had our post contingency step up. And we're playing it. It's almost April Fool's Day. So I had my jokes ready for practice tomorrow. Let's put it that way of what I was going to say. But this is the latest we've ever played in Bowling Green women's basketball history. Proud of our 30 wins. But selfishly, I'll tell you what, we wanted 31. Our kids wanted 31 badly. And as I started off this press conference, they weren't in tears. There was a lot of mad kids. There's a lot of mad coaches as well because we had our chances. So that'll be good motivation. We're going to give them some time off. We need some time off. Our staff needs some time off. We need to get on the road recruiting a little bit. Because we've been playing so long, we haven't had the opportunity to be out as much as I wanted to. But also, in that last 3 weeks, I think our seniors have really had a sense of urgency, and they've also had a sense of ownership of what they've meant to this program. And you've got Jillian Halfhill, who was 68 points away from 1,000, and literally scored less than 30 her freshman year. So almost 3 years she's get 1,000 points. You've got Alexis Rogers, who now passed Chrissy Steffen with over 1,250. Fantastic effort by her. That's a kid who is really a student teacher right now. I mean, she works a full day and then comes to practice every day. Jill Stein, her name's synonymous with March Madness. I mean, she carried us through the WNIT last year. She stepped up last game, had double-digit points, double-digit rebounds. I mean, almost had a triple-double with assists as well. And stepped up today, and that's a kid who didn't play much her freshman year and got better and better and couldn't get her out of starting lineup. And those three have been a mainstay for us. Again, I had a different script written for the ending for those three seniors, and I think they had a different script written as well, and that script was developed over the last 3 weeks, if that's your question.
Knowing that you had a different script, I mean, does that at least bring you close to tears then, or?
No, still mad. No, that happened.
How about the atmosphere tonight, Coach?
It was fantastic, and that's probably, if you want to ask me, probably what brings me closest to tears is we couldn't get the W for the fans that came today. They couldn't get the W for those seniors and for our team because they played hard enough and well enough to win. But our fans were absolutely fantastic. I mean, if you saw me, I can yell with the best of them, I can clap with the best of them, but I met my match last game. I said, forget it, I can't lose my voice. I had gone through so many throw lozengers, I was done. So, I mean, I had probably a 3x5 dry erase board that I used. You know, everybody in the world knows our play calls now, but that was the only way we could hear. And I told the team, give you an example of how loud it was. We don't turn the ball over a lot at this time of year. When you look at the last game against Michigan, I think we had 5 turnovers in the first 7 minutes, and all the kids kept coming to the bench. I can't hear. And I turned to them, I'm like, do you want me to tell 3,000 people to be quiet? Like, what are you asking me? So I told them, I said, we're going to use this crowd not as an excuse for turnover. We're going to use this crowd as a reason to win. And that was the big mantra last game, and I wanted them to soak in the moment. I told them, when push comes to shove, they're going to be there for you. And lo and behold, Jillian throws in that 3 at the buzzer. It's a 1-possession game. Can't hear. That's when I thought we were going to pull it out. I really felt good at that moment, even after having that 5-minute lull where we didn't score. So with that said, I just want to thank them. I told Leslie Irvine, my senior women's administrator, and Chris Kingston, my athletic director, I apologized to them on the way back. I said, you all worked your tails off to get this, and we owe this to what you've done, and we owe it to our fans, because we had our chances to win. We really did. But with that said, give credit to Rutgers. There's my joke was going to be, this is 2 coaching staffs that have combined for 1,000 wins. So that's it's a pretty impressive number.
Is that a fair question? I mean, obviously you mentioned the 3 seniors. Don't you want to break the brain around next year if you replace those girls?
Yeah, you're right. It's not a fair question. But with that said, I know that's a question that's got to be asked. I really was mentored, and I really tried and do a good job in not comparing classes, not comparing teams. It does no good, okay? It does a disservice to who you have. This group right here, this 13-14 women's basketball team, with those 3 kids as seniors, Jillian Hatfield, Jill Stein, and Alexis Rogers, and they're in the record book. They're in the record book. It's our 8th consecutive class with 100 wins. It's 9 in program history that classes have 100 wins. They all have a MAC championship ring. They're going to get another MAC championship ring. They've all been to postseason play, the NCAA or the WNIT. But I'm not going to compare this class to others because this class is that special. This group is that special. I could go into our injury list that no one will ever hear about, of how hard those 3 seniors in particular played. They're not healthy. I could go into the injury list of everybody else on our team, and they gutted it out and played hard for each other because they're a special group. They're bottom line special group. So I'm not going to compare them to next year, or it would do a disservice to the 14-15 team, but I'm very proud of this group for what they've done, not only for the program, for the university, and for each other. They left their mark. That's why I wanted to hold the 3 of them together on the court so they could get that extra applause. They deserve that, and they had a great season. And again, I can't thank them enough individually. So I'm really looking forward to our banquet, which is on April 13th. So I'll send you a brochure to come. But you will probably see some tears then, but not going to see any tears tonight.